All right, y'all. So we probably like a month away from the beginning of the NBA season. And so some off-season moves were made. And this one off-season move in particular, I don't understand it for the life of me. I promise y'all it's not going to change life for this organization, even though they think so. But Rudy Gobert went to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I promise y'all, Rudy Gobert is overrated as hell to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it, but I ain't never liked this game ever. I promise y'all, I've never thought he was something special. I never thought of him as like, oh my God, we need him for my team. And the Chicago Bulls are a team that is in need of a defensive presence. But Rudy was never like no game changer to me. Like I never looked at him in that ilk. To me, Rudy is just a tall guy and he has some solid rim protection. But that's it. Like he's beyond overrated as a total player and even as a defender to me. Like he get paid like he a top center in the league. And the boy don't have an offensive bone in his body. If you leave Rudy Gobert in the gym all night and tell him he can't dunk, he'll leave out with 6 points in the morning. For real. If you told him he can't dunk, he'll leave out with 6 or 8 points in the morning. Leave him in the gym all night. Say you can't dunk. He come out with 6 or 8 points at most in the morning. He's that limited. And to me, man, to get paid top dollar like that, and to have been a professional big man in this league for as long as he's been in the league and not to have a single consistent a single consistent offensive move in your repertoire, there's no excuse for that, brother. You've been in the league, he's been in the league way too long, and to be getting the check he getting, like he ain't getting like, a role player bag. He getting a hefty bag. And if you're going to get the hefty bag, you got to be able to have some hefty production, even on the offensive side of the ball, right? His contract is too massive for him to not have a go-to move. Like, he got no offensive package. And T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, called him out for this before, right? And everybody like T-Mac being too harsh because he was on there with Gilbert Arenas and everybody like, well, Gilbert don't like offensive. He don't like European players, foreign players. And his critique of Giannis Antetokounmpo is ridiculous because Greek Freak is the best player in basketball by far to me. Head and shoulder, he's the best player in basketball right now. It ain't no question, right? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that Tracy McGrady was telling the truth. What is he doing all summer? What is he working on? His brother's just running and then practicing stuff he's already good at. Because listen, great players in this league don't just practice stuff they're already good at. It doesn't make sense for him to practice rim protection and to practice sprinting up and down the floor or to practice weightlifting or to just weightlift. No. You need to have develop some post moves, brother. Develop some type of go-to move you can use to exploit mismatches because he can't right now. T-Mac was describing a scenario where Chris Paul was guarding him in the paint and Rudy Gobert couldn't do a damn thing. He had barbecue chicken sitting in the paint and could not eat it. It was like the brother was vegan when Chris Paul was guarding him. He couldn't eat on the boy. Like for real, like Chris Paul was guarding him, locking him up. How the hell is a 6-foot guard like locking up a 7-footer? This shit don't make sense. But Rudy making it make sense because you're looking at it like, damn, he can't do nothing, right? And I'm looking at this, I said Minnesota crazy because they gave up 5 picks for the brother, 5 picks. And they gave up 5 picks thinking that Rudy going to be a life changer, game changer for them. I promise y'all, Minnesota going to get bounced in the first or second round still, even with Rudy Gobert. So to give up all them picks, it didn't make sense at all. For real, it just didn't make sense at all. The man has no touch, or he don't even got a touch around the rim. No touch around the rim. Me, you, your mama, and your cousin too could shut Rudy's ass down. Like for real, he can't exploit mismatches at all because he got no go-to moves. So anytime he got a dude that's 6'5", 6'6" in the paint, we know it's over with. You can play small ball on Minnesota. And it's just like, it's nothing he could do. Like, remember when Houston had that small ball lineup, PJ Tucker playing center? PJ Tucker would have gave Rudy Gobert hell. It would have worked like a mug on Utah or, Minnesota now. Seriously, like, all Rudy good for is catching lobs and putbacks. And I know that majority of the bigs that have come into this league, a lot of them were like that. Tyson Chandler, the former defensive player of the year, former one-time All-Star. All he could do was catch lobs and do putbacks. Even my boy Joakim Noah. Joakim was like that too, right? But they weren't getting paid them hefty-ass contracts that Rudy Gobert getting. And that's why Shaq, when people were like, oh, Shaq hating, Shaq was like, Rudy Gobert is the prime example. Kids, if you just have a lot of energy, if you play with a lot of energy and you're tall and you use those assets to just try and play, just go out there and play really, 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 really hard. Because he'll play really, really hard, even though if it's not really good, even though it's not really like top 5 big man production, he'll go out there and play hard and go and try to put it all, give it 100% effort. But it still don't look like nothing. You know, you can go and give a whole lot of effort and it still don't be like amazing. So he'll give effort and all that. That's why Shaq said, he the proof. You tall, you just play really hard, show some effort out there, you can get you $100 million contract. And people are like, oh, Shaq fouled for that. No, it's the truth. Like, Rudy getting paid mega. And again, I know we're in an era where even role players are getting big time contracts. But it's like, Rudy out here getting paid like he Jokic now. Like he Jokic, like he Embiid and shit. Like, come on, bro. Like, no. Rudy ain't that. And I don't like counting a man's money, but it's just like, for him to get that bag, I would have to see something. So I remember when the Bulls, it was murmurs out there, the Chicago Bulls interested in Rudy Gobert, possible acquisition. I'm like, hell no. I don't want Rudy over here. Rudy not going to change life for us. He might be able to block some shots, but I promise y'all we were going to still be stagnant. Like, I don't think it was going to make a whole lot of people like, well, because this is the thing. You can trade for Rudy. And let's just say, if we got Rudy and we didn't have to give up nothing but a few picks, cool, I'm good with it. Take Rudy, cool. But if they would have wanted good assets for Rudy, they would have wanted Kobe White. They would have wanted Javonte Green, guys that hustle, that play well for us defensively, that give us a whole lot of good energy off of the bench, that make up for certain parts where the scoring lacks. Rudy ain't worth that. Not in a million or trillion years, brother. Good night.